What if I told you that you could detail your entire vehicle, interior and exterior, with a bucket, one chemical, a few microfiber towels, and a few tools? So, of course, you'll need a 5-gallon bucket. In here I have 4 gallons of water, and you'll need rinseless wash. This one is from DIY Detail. And so always mix up your products. I have 4 gallons of water in here. So it's a ½ ounce for every gallon of water. And a tip is use warm water in the winter. It's not super cold today, but it's a little chilly. So always mix up your product. You want 2 ounces. Give it a little mix. So in this bucket I have a few brushes and a wash sponge. So throughout this video I will give some tools that are essential and then others that are optional. So the sponge and the microfiber towels, the bucket, and the chemical are your essentials. So now that I have my wash bucket ready to go, I want to introduce a few of the essential tools and then some of your optional tools that you want. So your essential tools that you want, of course, the ones in the wash bucket. So for the interior, optional tool is a brush. For your exterior, your essential tools, you'll want a spray bottle. Does not need to be an IK pump automatic spray bottle, it can just be a trigger spray bottle. You'll want a drying towel, and you'll want some towels for your wheels and your wheel wells. First thing you want to do is get the floor mats out of the vehicle. Get off as much dirt as you can. Another optional tool that I forgot to mention was this blow air tool. This is their smaller introductory level type tool, and this is for car drying, but I love it for interiors because you can blow out all of the little nooks and crannies and in between the seats. And the other thing you could use too, if you had an air compressor in the setup for that, you could use a Tornador or air compressor little air tool. I'm using rinseless wash, and why I recommend this is because it is super concentrated. You can use it both interior and exterior, leaves nothing behind. And without getting into all the science behind it and whatever, basically what it does to dirt is it breaks it down and it leaves it off the surface just for you to wipe it away. So it's perfect for all the interior surfaces, for your glass, upholstery, paint, everything. And so I have been using rinseless wash for interiors on my maintenance customers, on my new customers for a while, and just absolutely love it. So this is DIY Detail, their rinseless wash, and I've come to love theirs a lot. This is their version 2, you can tell because it's a little milkier, the liquid is. And so it's perfect for every surface, and it's very efficient as well. So the way that I like to do interiors is I like to start a quarter of the vehicle at a time, start on the driver's side, work my way top to bottom, and then inside to the outside. So I had my interior towel soaking in rinseless wash, took it out and wringed it out really, really well. So this is just damp. I personally like to start on the windshield, and this is so perfect for glass because you can just wash the glass. And DIY Detail, it smells so good. Remember, you have 8 sides to a towel, so you can flip it to your other side for the rest of it, but you have your dry towel and you just buff it off. And if at the end you need to use a little glass cleaner, you can. I like to do that for touch-ups, and a really great glass cleaner is Stoner Invisible Glass. You can get it at any big box store, any auto parts store. Flip it again and it'll just come out really, really nice. There you go, windshield is done. So I grabbed one of my optional tools here, it's my interior brush, and I had it soaking in my rinseless bucket. And I like this for cleaning up the vents. They sell these at Walmart too, not this specific brand, but they sell little detail brushes at Walmart, so they're readily available. But for any of these little cubbies here, for your cup holders, I like that. I like it for that. Any of your buttons around here, underneath your shift knob. And the beauty too of rinseless wash is that it is, because it's safe for your paint on the exterior, it's also safe on all of your delicate plastics on the interior. So when I have this soaked in rinseless wash and I go over this, it's going to just glide on the surface, clean it, and then it's not gonna scratch any of these delicate piano black surfaces. So now that I've gone over this center console with my towel, there are some little intricate areas where your toothbrush comes in handy. I literally just stole my son's toothbrush. I'll put it back later, but just get in your little delicate areas, and it just, again, you have rinseless wash, so you're not scratching anything. This is super, super soft bristles. You just get around these areas, and then it cleaned up the cup holders really well, so there's not much there, but like around this e-brake here, there are some areas that you just need to get into. And then you can go back over it. Now, the other thing I didn't mention is this is my cameraman's vehicle, Mr. AC, and this is only after a couple days of driving. It's crazy. He's really dirty. No, he went on a road trip. Alright, this is where I love rinseless wash the most, is you can start at the top and work your way down on a door panel. You can see how dirty this door panel is. Rinseless wash is going to have no problem cleaning that up. So you can literally start on your window. And I find if I hold the rag like this, it's easier just to get the rag to contour to some of these door panels. And I love rinseless wash because if you're looking at the vehicle and you miss a spot, you can just quickly grab it with the rinseless. It'll clean it up easily, safely, all that sort of thing. You can get your fingers in all these buttons like this. So now that I've got that part done, then I can grab my dry towel and grab my window around this edges, get the middle, flip it again. That's clean. I've also done this in direct sunlight, and the secret to that is you just do it real quick. One hand with your dry, one hand with your damp towel, and you just go over it, and then you just mop it up like that, and it's clean. This, and I get as much of this as I can. So now I'm going to flip it because that part is dirty. You have 8 sides to a towel, so just flip your towel. So we've got a little stain here. I've got my rinseless dampened towel. You can use this on leather and fabrics, and so this is just damp. I'll follow it right up with my dry towel. So we're just gonna, now this is gonna be wet, so we won't be able to tell until the very end if it got it out. But if we have to, we can get our interior cleaner out in our brush. But what do you think, AC? You got it out? You think we got it out?
I think so.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna do rinseless wash versus Baja Blast. Kind of spilled in this cup holder here. Baja Blast, your go-to drink.
It is.
AC from Taco Bell.
It's the best.
Just get it in the cup holder and just twirl it. Got it on the back here a little bit. Get down in that little crevice there. Okay, we can set this back in our bucket and dry. yeah, clean it up good. The only thing I need to do is get my toothbrush and clean around the cracks here, but other than that, took it right off. Thought I was lying about using a toothbrush for detailing. No. No, no. I use it all the time. So the last step in the vehicle, on the interior of the vehicle, is the floor mats, because these are the dirtiest part. I like to save these for last. And so these are not gonna come out perfect. I've already told my cameraman, or suggested, that he gets some better floor mats, some that will cover a larger area, as well as be rubber. So all he has to do, take them out, rinse them off, wipe them down with rinseless wash, put them right back in, they'll be good as new. But anyways, we're gonna make these look as good as possible. So use your drill brush, or just any sort of little brush. You can get like a little brush like this from Amazon or Walmart, and just do this. Get as much stuff off as you can. So I have my rinseless Stampin' towel, and this is not going to go back in my bucket because this is going to get pretty dirty. So I use one side for each floor mat, and I'm just going to take it, rub it, get your dry towel. The Tornador would help with this. You can use some sort of air blower or whatever, but there's the dirt we picked up. The floor mat looks like this. I will do a final vacuum, and then it should be good. So we are ready to move on to the exterior. So again, we just have our bucket with our water in here, and using the same water that we used on the exterior, because again, rinseless wash, that it'll break down the dirt, brings it all the way down to the bottom of the bucket, so it's never getting introduced back onto the vehicle. And as long as you have water in there and it's above your grit guard, then you're good to go. You do not necessarily need a grit guard. So what we will do is we will spray the entire vehicle down, and I dipped before I started on the vehicle on the interior. I dipped this into my rinseless wash solution and just gonna spray the whole vehicle down, let it kind of break down the dirt, and then we'll rinse it off. So if you have really bad bugs on the front of your vehicle, the best thing to do is just do the same pre-spray with your rinseless wash and make this the last part that you rinse and that you wash at the very end, and you'll see that the bugs will come right off. So if you see this dirt right here, wash, you can see, you can kind of flush that out, but see how it's just breaking up that dirt, taking it off? Look at that. So that's the thing, is dragging it down. And then when we're done, the next step is to rinse. So you rinse all that heavy grit off. I pre-sprayed this area. I started from the roof and came right down here, and this is a bug splatter right here. So look, that thing is pretty much gone. So when I rinse, most of that will just go away, and I'll do the rinsing to the entire vehicle. You're left with all this heavy grit will be gone, and all you're left with is road film, and that'll come right off on the sponge. So the next step is to rinse, and that'll remove all the heavy grit, so we're only left with traffic film. I'm just gonna use a garden hose today because most people have access to a garden hose. Pressure washer would be better, but I'm just showing the easiest, fastest way to do this. So starting top to bottom, rinsing it. Now that everything's rinsed off, the next step is you want another layer of rinseless just to add some more cleaning power, some more lubrication to the sponge, to the contact wash. So we have more rinseless wash on the vehicle, so we're going to start top to bottom. I always save the bottom for last, especially with this dirty of a vehicle, AC. So what you want to do is you want to wring out your sponge till it's barely dripping, and then work one side, flip it, work another, and then dip it back in. Once we dip it back in, you'll see that the sponge will come out clean. So if you're working in direct sunlight, you just want to go one panel at a time. We're not working in direct sunlight, we've got some shade. If the rinseless does dry on the surface, it's not a huge deal, just spray a little bit more on. You can see the sponge is dirty on the red side, so I'm gonna flip to a new side. I'm still going top to bottom, so now I'm to the hood, and I'm not putting any pressure on the sponge. It's just gliding along. I'm gonna dip my sponge, wring it out, and it's clean again. So now I can flip to the other side of the vehicle. Get your wiper blades while you're here. Get those all cleaned up. I might have to have AC help me get the middle of that. I don't know if I'm tall enough. You're going in straight lines. And then I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop at the plastics, save the plastics for last. 'Cause those are the dirtiest parts. We're gonna move on to the wheels and tires, and we're just gonna focus on the face of the wheels, the tires, and then try to get as much of this wheel well as I can. So I still have the same water, and in here I just put 4 of these. These are little wheel mitts, but you can just throw microfibers in there, or you can use 1 microfiber and use each side, but I just put 4 of these. I'm not gonna put them back in my bucket. These are gonna go straight into the wash. So it's been sprayed, and so I just go over it with the mitt.